If you thought elections today were convoluted, trust me, it could get a lot more ridiculous. The 1876 election by electoral vote was the closest presidential election in US history, with the Republican Rutherford Hayes winning by just one vote. And it wasn't completely a coincidence either. To say the country was divided would be an understatement. The southern states had just lost the Civil War and were still being forcefully reintegrated into the Union through Reconstruction. Yet despite Democrats being blamed for the war, the Republican administration of Ulysses Grant had gained popular ire due to economic issues such as the Panic of 1873, as well as corporate scandals tied to Republican politicians. In 1874, during Grant's last term and with the previous year's depression in full swing, the country saw a Democrat wave. The Republican convention struggled to find the right man, and it took 7 ballots to finally decide on Governor Hayes of Ohio. Meanwhile, the Democrats chose Samuel J. Tilden, who recently as governor of New York had won the people's love by lowering taxes and cracking down on corruption. Regarding policy, both sides favored moderate reform, including on the hot-button issue of the spoils system in civil service. Because of this, the election came down to the character of the candidates in their parties. The Republicans bashed the Democrats as responsible for the war, but it wasn't enough, and the Democrats won the popular vote. The problem is, the election wasn't completely honest. In the southern states of Florida, Louisiana, and South Carolina, Democrat militants such as the KKK would often use violent threats to silence black Republican voters, and Republicans would capitalize on it by calling out real violence and exaggerating it further. Meanwhile, in Oregon, Democrats claimed that the Republican tiebreaker elector John Watts was illegitimate, since he was postmaster, violating the Constitution. With the election undecided, tensions rose to the point that some even feared a second civil war. Congress decided to settle things with an electoral commission of 5 representatives, 5 senators, and 5 Supreme Court justices, who would decide the results of the 4 states. To make a long story short, the decision was entirely partisan. The 8 Republican members gave every state to Hayes. The election of W. Bush in 2000 was closer in one way, where Bush won by 537 votes in Florida as opposed to 889 for Hayes in South Carolina. But the not completely democratic nature of Hayes' victory was uncanny. Some commentators even suggested a sinister conspiracy, in which Democrats accepted the decision of the commission when Hayes agreed to end Reconstruction.